document from Hot Topic. Like, never written on, just a notebook paper like I took to junior high.
Nice.
For Christmas, and it's still in a folder down this corner here, fucking like 20 years later. And then 2 months ago, I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and he pulled out a piece of paper, and it was his hall pass slip from elementary. And I was like, lift your hand above your trash can and drop that in there. Because why do you still have it?
I don't know, man. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just like stuff that old. There's a couple crazy things I find. I think the coolest thing I still know about is they're terrible. It's the one Lord of the Rings volume. I think came out in like the 80s with like the really crazy looking, goofy looking art. And it's the copies my mom had for Lord of the Rings. And I was like, never throw those away.
A book, not a role playing game.
Yeah, they're like the paperbacks of like the originals that have like the they look like romance books, like the covers for them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of romance, let's get our bromance going with the auction.
Oh, Margaret.
Oh, was that her name? Yeah, that was her name. Wasn't it Lady Margaret?
Lady Margaret.
Lady Margaret.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. So last episode, we'll do a quick recap. So last session, we started off at, I think it was actually, it's the beginning of the night. You met the other patrons, and then the auction started. And the bidding was furious. The activity was exciting. People were throwing money around. People were buying occult objects. And you got through maybe 5 or 6 items. And then there was kind of a pause in the auction. And the Herr Osberg, who was conducting the auction, seemed to be waiting for something. He had sent off an assistant to go get the next item, and they were delayed coming back. So then he sent another assistant to go check on that assistant. And at that point, there was this blood-curdling scream, and everyone kind of sat up in their chairs and got rigid for a moment. And I think most everybody but, was it Pete's character, Rodrego, had the internal fortitude to rush out and see what was going on. And initially you found the second assistant passed out on the ground. And I think another staff member was helping him. But beyond that, into the room, the prep room, the green prep room where all the auction items were being stored or held, was carnage. There's blood everywhere. And there were body pieces torn up and spread across the room. And there was overturned tables and things piled on top of each other. And I think even later you determined that there were body pieces missing, slabs of human meat and flesh from almost certainly that first assistant. And of course that was shocking, and some of you gasped, and I think a couple of you threw up, and it was obviously quite disturbing. Then you kind of gathered your senses, settled down, and started investigating around the room, and found a couple of interesting things. First of all, there was a blood trail that led from somewhere in the room to a dumbwaiter along the wall. And somebody from staff had told you that dumbwaiter goes down to the basement vaults where the items are stored. So basically, when there's an auction, items are brought up from the basement, they're held in the prep room where this carnage was, and then they're brought into the actual auction itself. And so there seemed to be a blood trail going to the dumbwaiter. I think you even opened up the dumbwaiter, and yeah, there was blood all over it, and actually some claw prints, some unusual inhuman claw prints. And there was a kind of a sickly sweet smell, almost of carnage. Unusual, but certainly a kind of a sweet death smell to it throughout the room, and it was a little bit stronger in the dumbwaiter. The other thing that you guys picked up on, I think someone had asked to check out all the items, and it was clear that auction item number 12, or I forget the number, but it was the head, the steel head.
Philosopher's Head? Is that what it's called, right?
Yeah, what was that called?
I think it was the Philosopher's Head.
Philosopher's Head. I take your word for it. Yeah, but it was this head with rivets and really kind of unusual architecture to it or construction to it, but that was entirely missing, and that seemed to be the only item that was missing. Ultimately, you did go down to the vaults. Remember, the dumbwaiter goes down to the vaults. It skips the first floor, goes down to the basement. You went down there.
It was a riveted brass head.
Riveted brass head. Okay.
Similar to the Philosopher's Head.
And they let you into the vaults, and there was more blood, and I think you even sent the dumbwaiter down, but there was in one wall had partially collapsed. So it basically someone had dug a hole or an entry from outside in to the vault. They had propped it up with some posts that had collapsed, and the entire thing had, it would take a good amount of time to dig through there, but someone had dug in and then perhaps covered their tracks out. Well, maybe not covered their tracks, covered their exit by closing it off. The dirt was pretty fresh, so it had just been dug. The police arrived and had some, at least for you guys, some pretty light interviews. They seemed to be the first on the scene police officers. They weren't necessarily lead investigators, but they asked you about who you were and where you were from and what you were doing here and what did you know, and ultimately told you not to leave the country because they may have more questions for you. And finally, some of our German-speaking investigators overheard those police officers speaking in German, and they had described something amongst themselves of, oh, this sounds like, I wonder if this is connected to the other grave robberies. And you heard them go on a little bit about a handful, 5 or 6 grave robberies over the last couple of years at a graveyard, from a graveyard called the Gate, Gate, the Gate, whatever the German language is for that, I forget. But anyway, they described that, and you overheard it without them noticing. And they also described that the people they believe who were kind of doing the grave robberies were almost caught a couple times, but when they got away, they were wearing kind of these long trench coats, and they were running away with this kind of strange skipping gait that looked a little bit unusual. I said coats, black cloaks is what they were wearing. So they were hard to make up.
Skipping gait is like a frolic, I'm trying to think.
A happy,
like a sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The phrase they used was the equivalent of skipping gait. You didn't observe it directly, so hard to say.
Interesting. That's cool.
So that was last session, and so basically this is kind of the setup for now. And if you haven't played Cthulhu all that much, I mean, like now it's investigation time, right?
Yeah.
And so you need to kind of basically draw on all your investigative skills to figure out what's going on. You can. Oh, Herr Osberg, the head of the auction house, on the side, he had asked for your help. He said he wasn't, even though you guys are unknown, he knows the background of some of these other patrons, and he doesn't necessarily trust all of them. So he was kind of hoping that you could look into this and keep it on the down low. And he even offered some modest support. If you want to call it a stipend, or if you need extra time at your hotel, he can be counted on to perhaps provide some financial or information
Gotcha.
assistance.
Well, I mean, now William Gast is starting to realize that things are getting serious. So if he could get me a coffee black,
Yeah,
that'd be
not what I
fantastic.
do. Not really my.
That would be perfect. A little sugar's not bad, but black is preferable. Thank you.
Not one of your clubs back in the U.S., William.
Incredible.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know where you get these ideas. You seem
Fantastic.
okay. I will not get you that at all.
I would take one as well.
Fine. And he calls over the major domo.
Oh, mo-
He's like, if this is what it takes, if you need to be caffeinated to, oh yes, this is the most urgent task. I'll do anything, even tolerate the inane requests of Americans. I didn't say that out loud.
Monsieur, if you are taking orders, I would like a pain de chocolat as well, please.
Auction house, not a pancake house. Yeah, there you go. Democracy, spreading democracy.
Oh, too good.
Yeah.
So are we in the blood room right now?
Yeah, I can't remember. Let's say that you're in the vault and you had just, or maybe you kind of caught up with the two police officers. They came down and caught up with you and Osberg and talked things through.
Ooh, let's see here. Trying to go where the next point would be to go.
Do we? Oh, okay. Do we feel like we investigated everything we needed to investigate at the auction house? I know we were in the basement. We saw the wall collapse. Do we feel like we got the information we needed? I know we overheard the police talking. That's clearly going to get us to like a graveyard. But before we start doing something like that, do we feel like there's anything left to be gained from? Do we want to go over the items closely? Will they let us inspect them now that somebody's been ripped to shreds and something clearly happened? Or because he was pretty reluctant to let me grab the sword and use it to investigate. But maybe, and I get it. I feel like that, that checks.
Maybe that was stepping over the lines a little bit, but
yeah. But maybe it may be like Hollywood's character, because I think he's the only qualified person. We've got like a mountaineer, we've got, a Latin lover. But I feel like Hollywood's character is actually qualified maybe to go over these items. Not that William's not qualified. I mean, he's right behind.
Clearly qualified.
Yeah, he's right behind, Hollywood's character. But or are we ready to move on, go to the library and such?
This has been asked.
Yeah, I don't know if you're asking me or just as I will say that
sort of the group. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'll just say that you do think that Osberg is probably a little bit more amenable to, he's not going to let you take things home or anything, but if you want to,
right.
Handle and, he'll have somebody there with them or with you. And
okay.
But
now, do they have, this is stupid. I know they have like a little blurb in the, this is dumb. My background. Let me get rid of that. They have like a little blurb in the pamphlet, but do they have like research paperwork, things like that would have gone with the missing head? Like, is there any archaeological, it was found here? Is there anything like that might be part of the items? And if not, that's okay.
I mean, there's nothing written that goes along with it that other than what was in the pamphlet.
Do they have photographs? Would they have? Yeah, I guess photographs are a thing, but I don't know how common.
Yeah, let's say that they've got a photograph of everything. If you want to ask him, he says, yes, we've for insurance purposes and tracking, we keep photographs. In rare cases, maybe we've got sketches, but
yeah. So Hollywood, I don't know how much you heard. What I was wondering is if would the facility be more open to us investigating and looking at each item closely? And did they have any kind of information about the missing head? And Ty was just saying they had photographs and stuff that we might be able to. But what I was putting out there is that technically, like, I think your character is the only character that's actually qualified in anything regarding these things. So I didn't know if you had any questions or anything about the items, or if we were ready to move on.
The only thing I would say, above the table, we're not on anything, right? We're pen and paper only.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I gotta find my character.
I feel you.
One of the things that I would like to do, being the kind of naturalist, while the troops are getting organized that are book smart, we're still in the vault, right, Ty?
Yeah, I mean that's where you kind of nominally said that you are. Yeah.
Can I go poke around in the collapsed tunnel and see if I find anything, or just kind of, see if there's claw marks or anything else kind of strange that maybe we missed in the original kind of look around, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe not too much more than I kind of mentioned.
Sure.
It is collapsed, so it's not like you can get into.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get further in or beyond what the wall in front of you. The dirt's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
They also seem to have used at some point some sort of post or anchor to keep it. So think of these like kind of somewhat rusty metal poles that have since.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of them that have kind of caved in. So we're not quite sure why it caved in, but definitely someone. Maybe you notice a couple footprints that look a little unusual, claw-like. Yeah, but that's about it. Your best guess, it would take a handful of hours at least to notice if you're making any progress on digging through.
Gotcha.
Can I throw a natural world at the claws?
What are you trying to do?
Natural world.
And what are you trying to? What about them? Like you're trying to figure
Determine
out
what those claw prints are, or what they
sure.
are similar to.
Yeah, please.
Let's do things. Ooh, so we're 32. We've got a 30 in natural world, so I'm going to spend 2 points of luck to get that to success.
Yeah, your impression is they seem to be canine-like, but larger, and also with very pronounced claw-like nails. But the shape of the foot is canine-ish.
And
Going to be very big dog. I just sounded Russian instead of German, and that was bad.
That's good.
above the table, my history, appraise, and archaeology are my best things. So I would like to see those pictures.
All right. What would you like to see the picture of?
You said there was a picture of the skull with the rivets?
Yes. And I am delaying so that I can give you something to look at.
Well, that's who's looking after Margaret? Where is she? Is she okay?
You better go check on her.
Because if that goddamn Swede is trying to comfort her, I will have words.
Yeah. So most of the other patrons are still in the auction room. I don't know. Maybe it's been an hour since the incident total. So in our voice room chat, so the chat that goes along with our video here, not the other channel.
Nice.
I've just put a picture of the, what do we call it? The brazen head?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. The brazen head So think of it as, I don't know, what is that, 1.5 feet tall? There's maybe something in there, maybe a little ruler that kind of gives you a sense of proportion. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you're struck by how sinister it looks. If you're not, you almost believe that the teeth that are in it could in fact be real.
Ooh.
They certainly look real. And so the top of it, you kind of see like at the neck area, there's this kind of horizontal line. Above that it appears to be metallic metal, and then it sits on this maybe wood, maybe fossilized wood, some other type of material, but not necessarily metal, but some sort of base.
Would you like an appraise or an archaeology roll?
Did you say history? You have history too?
I said, my history isn't terrible. No, yeah, it's pretty good. History's good, appraise is good, and archaeology's good.
Why don't you roll once? There is such a thing as is it called a combined roll? I forget. But once you roll once,
There is, actually.
and let me know if you pass any of them, and I'll give you something.
I passed all of them.
Did you? Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. So historically, maybe it doesn't appear from this drawing, but to your eyes, it does have an appearance to be. Wait a minute. Am I getting my figures incorrect? Is it Roger Bacon? Who am I looking for?
Macon Bacon?
Roger Bacon, the English philosopher. Yes. He appears to have characteristics that suggest something about the English philosopher Roger Bacon, who to be involved or study a philosopher around metaphysics and deep philosophy. All right. Appraisal-wise, this was certainly, I forget what this was lot 9. The minimum bid on this was 130, and it wasn't the highest minimum bid, but you are almost certain that it is vastly undervalued. And perhaps without knowing what you're getting, it probably would have gone for a sweet deal on the auction. If you knew at the time, you might have gotten away with something pretty special. What was it? We had history, appraisal, and what?
Archaeology.
Archaeology.
Every time I hear the archaeologist, I'm going to start quoting Jurassic Park.
Yeah. This is kind of archaeology-ish.
I'm curious about the markings at the bottom.
The markings at the
bottom. Paper, or is it on a piece of stretched out?
That appears to be just a wrapping that they've perhaps kept it in and unfolded it to take the picture. There's really nothing on it.
I'm certain that must be wrong.
There's a spell on it. No. Archaeology-wise, I'm kind of making a stretch here. It does appear to have some sort of Germanic origins in terms of its structure and the way that it was put together. It has qualities that, I don't know, perhaps German sculpture or something like that.
Indeed. What does our German friend think of this?
13th century, let's say.
Yeah, what can I throw to figure that out? I've got great German.
Yeah, German language there, right?
Yeah,
there's really nothing to read on it.
But you are an artist.
Yeah,
Perhaps
illustration, painting.
Oh yeah.
We'll do painting. I should freaking rule at painting.
You guys are really push me on this, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Give me a art roll or whatever you're thinking.
Art roll.
Does it have to come up?
Fine art. What do they call it?
Oh, dude, we get a half success.
On art craft,
Yeah. Painting.
painting.
See.
Okay.
/ art craft, yeah.
What could I tell you about it? Really going deep on this one.
Explain the head to us.
How about this? I will say that yeah, so given your familiarity with art from your German circles, it is unlike anything you've ever seen.
Okay. Alien to the culture.
Yeah, I don't want to suggest anything by using the term alien, but just unlike anything that you've seen in your German art circles.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I relay that in the most German way possible. Whatever that means.
And I go to the head of the auction house. I'm like, look, sir, you know I'm a serious man. If there's anything you know about this head that's missing, now's the time to tell the good doctor. So I would say, yeah, I guess.
Whatever do you mean?
I just like if there's any information that anyone has on any of these items, specifically the head that's missing. I mean, you have an employee that's been dismembered, and I've thrown up. So there's a lot going on this evening. So,
oh my god.
So yeah. So is there any information or any insight that you have about these objects, like, you know, the family that it might have come from?
Well, you know, we are a house of the highest reputation, and we take our customers and clients and their reputations very seriously. We protect their privacy, but I do have my suspicions.
And then I reach over to the pile of goop and I say, what about his privacy? And it's just like dripping interest. No, not really. And I was like, do you think this family, knowing what's happened here tonight, would be willing to share any information with us?
The family of who are you talking about?
Whoever provided the head, the client, I guess, that wanted to auction the head
yeah.
off.
Yeah, I could arrange for you to meet that family once I have a chance to explain what was going on.
And then, you know, and doctor, what do you think might be useful to, you know, what would give you the information you might need to learn more about these items?
Well, first of all, I'm not really a doctor.
He just plays one on TV.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
So, doctor.
Yes. Go on.
It makes me feel better to call you doctor because there's a lot going on, as I've mentioned.
Of course. I mean, I believe the head resembles an old philosopher. He was an English philosopher, I believe. Was he not? Richard Bacon. Does that ring a bell with anyone?
It does. I know it's Roger Bacon.
Richard, yes. Mm-hmm.
But in character, I'm like, Richard, absolutely, yes. I know him well. I studied him at, did I mention Harvard? I went to Harvard.
Indeed. I don't know what, this was the only item that was missing.
That's correct.
It's the head.
I believe the answer lies down this hallway. Or rather, you know, cave-like entrance.
Yeah, is it just... Sorry, that's a good question. Does that thing just go somewhere?
The collapsed wall.
It's like a tunnel, right?
It's impassable right now. It's collapsed and filled in. And so what I was trying to suggest is that you can attempt to dig through it. You're not sure how far you're going to get, but right now it's like it's collapsed. It's fallen in. It's impassable right now.
Are the police still standing around here?
Yeah, and in fact, maybe a couple of investigators have shown up and are talking to the other patrons.
Can
Now,
I?
where do we think this goes? Is there a tunnel system or something underneath the city that may pass nearby here that perhaps we could? I'm sorry, what?
OSR senses tingling.
Perhaps we could find another way. I mean, somebody obviously came in here through this area and then into the dumbwaiter. And I'm certain. I mean, these very, very old places. They have a lot of tunnels and other things that lead to various places. So I'm certain there must be some sort of a map or something. Please, what can you tell us about this?
Well, sir, we are an auction house, not a public works department. But I assume that the sewers run throughout the city underground. But I couldn't tell you more than that.
And the police. What was this? This gate. This. What was it? A burial grounds. A cemetery that you referred to as a gate. Is this far?
Well, he doesn't know what you're talking about. That was overheard from a conversation between a couple of the initial police officers. But what you picked up, there was I thought I was playing Air Osberg.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what you heard from the cops, or I think it was Caleb's character, there is a graveyard that's called Das Tor, which translates into the gate. Yeah.
Caleb told us, or his character told us. Yes.
Yeah.
Then I can certainly ask this gentleman that question.
What are you going to ask him? I'm sorry.
This Das Tor or whatever it was, is that far from here? Do you know of it?
Das Tor. Give me a luck roll.
BRB, any a pencil.
Oh, 16. That's pretty good.
You rolled a 16?
I did.
I take it that's under? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Das Tor. Das Tor, the graveyard. Yeah, I mean it's one of the oldest graveyards in the city. It is. How far away is it? It's travelable. It's within travel distance. It's on another part of town, but yeah, it's well known. It's very ancient, but that's a curious thing to ask. But I guess this is a curious situation.
This is indeed a curious situation, sir. I don't know if you have noticed.
I have. Well, it's been curious for me as well. Truth be told, I hesitate to tell you this, but because it does involve some of the other patrons, but I do have my suspicions about a few of them.
Let's keep it on the down low, then, as they say.
I insist. These have been some of my finest customers over the years in these types of items, but three of them approached me before the auction, inquiring specifically about the Brazen Head. And they asked if I would sell it to them before the auction. Naturally, I refused. That would be it had already been placed on the list for auction. I couldn't go against the etiquette of selling something that was already listed. But each of them were very upset when I refused to sell it to them. They came to me independently.
Are Are any of them down here?
No, I think they're still upstairs.
Okay.
This will be shocking to Mr. Gast, but Lady Margaret
How dare you?
approached me about the brazen head. And
Brazen harlot.
It's exactly. And Michael de Borsarven. Did I talk about him? I had to have talked about him. Who is he? Michael de Borsarven. Michael. Let's see. He was the Frenchman.
Ringing a small bell.
Oh, was he ringing the bell? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
With Margaret, would I have known about any, like, I guess the word I'm looking for is, like, when I say weird shit not in the normal circles that I operate in, that she's into.
Yeah, I mean, I know that anybody who is attending this auction is a serious student of the occult, right?
Okay.
Do you know her to perform sacrifices? And not necessarily. I mean, this is the 20s or 30s or wherever I set this, and so
She's not chewing on anyone's
people
faces.
they're doing seances and they're Houdini magic and all that kind of. It's kind of trendy, especially for the rich, right?
Yeah.
But she's definitely a serious, we'll say, student of it, and you knew that. But you didn't know her to be into anything nefarious.
Gotcha. All playful.
We'll say. And then he mentions, so we've got Lady Margaret, the Frenchman, and Klaus Hunderprest. You might remember Klaus was a middle-aged man. He had an unusual look to him. He's a little bit distant when you talk to him. He basically, Osberg goes on to explain that each of them had approached him individually. They asked for him to sell the brazen head to them, and he refused, and they were all visibly upset about that. And in fact, he even describes Hunderprest as storming out, very visibly upset about being refused. He says, did they have? I can't imagine that they would have something to do with something so dreadful, but their behavior does, I don't know, perhaps point the finger in their direction.
You're telling all of us this, right? Not just me.
Yeah. We'll assume, unless something's unusual, we'll assume that everybody's kind of still around, or you tell them later or something.
Do any of you remember if this gentleman, the underbreast, whatever his name is, if he was in the room with us when all this went down?
Do we remember that?
I was going to say, I don't have any specific notes of who was where.
Yeah. There were 5 of you. Yeah, there are enough of you who were in there that one of you at least, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him in there. Okay. In fact, he was bidding on some of the items, so he was definitely in there for at least some of the time. But yeah, he almost certainly there the whole time.
Herr Osberg, Monsieur, you do not happen to have the hotel that Underbreast was staying at, do you?
Oh, no, he is Austrian. He lives here in town.
Could you perhaps give us his address?
I think I could do that. Should I do that?
Oh, yeah, you did it. You did charge us to investigate this, did you not?
Oh, yeah. You drive a hard bargain, Frenchman. Make a good point. You make a good point.
Above the table, do we know that he's not currently here? Was that something that was... is he truly not in the building at all?
No, I mean, for all you know, he could still be.
Okay.
You do believe that folks are still being interviewed. But it is going on, so perhaps soon you would expect that maybe they would start letting people go unless they're suspects. He describes, maybe I should type this out, but he tells you he lives. I only know that he lives in an old section of town. I did have to send him the invitation. To the auction. Let me go check my records in the office. And
If you happen to see him while you're up there, by all means, let us know.
Okay, we'll do. So he departs. He heads back to his office. You can either wait till he gets back, or you can come up with something else to do.
We've kind of searched the room, right?
Yeah. I mean, most of the items were upstairs already, being prepped, and so the vault is largely there's some storage boxes, but you poke around, there's nothing going on.
I have an action that I'm going to do, and then a above table question.
Mhm.
The action I'm going to do is go and talk to Margaret.
Okay.
But something I'm curious about, given the past hour IRL in game, is how hard is it to have a gun in Germany in the 1920s?
Yeah, there's a difference between having a gun and bringing a gun into the country as a foreigner. And I'm kind of assimilating a bunch of knowledge from, for whatever reason, maybe not for whatever reason, maybe it makes total sense. That question seems to come up a lot. It seems to be in a lot of modules. I don't. You can get a gun.
Okay.
In Austria. You said Germany. I mean, I expect you mean Austria.
Yes. Sorry.
Now, it may be a rifle, a hunting rifle, or a shotgun.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But that.
What's it going to be like? Give it 20 years, it'll be Germany. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just labels. Yeah. I mean, you'd have to wait for shops to open, and
yeah.
I don't know what kind of background checks, but let's say that you could work something out.
Cool. Well,
I don't know if you could walk around town with them and just have them strapped on your back in the middle of Vienna.
Oh no, it's because the archaeologist made a very compelling statement about going to this place called The Gate in a Call of Cthulhu game, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know that's meta, but
I know why. I know why.
I mean,
why.
above the table, Caleb. I do live in Austria, and I am like a hunter alpine dude.
Right.
So I probably have a license at least to. Yeah, I've passed the background checks.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay. Cool. So if we have to get done with horror on this situation, we can.
So while we're kind of sorting, you guys are figuring out guns and stuff. Osberg comes back and he tells you, here it is, and he gives you a little slip of paper, and it's 324 Volstrasse, number 1 is the address. And he says, I believe that's not the most peaceful and wonderful part of town. It's a little. I've said enough. It's not everything is down here by the river.
Merci.
Down by the river.
How would our American friends say this? On the wrong side of the tracks.
I wouldn't know about that, but I think that's an expression.
All right, so Caleb, you were thinking about something with Lady Margaret, with Lukas. Is that right? You still want to do that?
Yeah, and this is garbage RP, but I basically just want to because I'm going to third person it. I basically want to kick off a conversation about the situation and just see what she says.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm miserable at first person talk half the time.
That's all right. So yeah, you head back upstairs, and it does seem like about half the patrons have been released, we'll say. But Lady Margaret is still there. You don't see Hunter Prest. You don't see Debor Sarvin. You don't see the French guy. But Lady Margaret's there. She seems visibly distressed. Oh, Lukas! Where have you been? That's been terrible.
Talking to policemen.
Yes. Oh, they describe something horrible. Oh, those poor workers.
Quite bad.
Yes. You're unharmed, right? You're not wrapped up in this.
Like I am desperately out of cigarettes.
I see. Here, have one of mine. And she reaches into her purse and gives you a cigarette.
Start to smoke it. Yeah, then do I need to roll anything to see if I get her to talk about anything else? Or is she just in woo mode, I guess, for like, oh,
Yeah.
Southern belling it up.
Yeah. Tell me how you're going to approach her. Like, are you gonna intimidate her? You're gonna fast talk her? You're gonna persuade her? Hey, if you tell me, what I don't know what kind of case you're making.
So Kraus generally talks in like, again, I feel it. He talks in aesthetics is his style of communication.
Mm-hmm.
So he just starts to describe visually everything that's occurred with him in the past like 30 minutes as he's like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And so he'll get like, and I'll get like gory, but like in a artiste way with like describing the scene of what happened. And just like,
Okay.
I'll mention the head and like, it's like they're talking about this. There's a head missing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about these? Like, I was like, and I go, I'll actually say, he's like, you traffic in some of the occult, much like I do. I'm just like, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just because of what you know already, when you mention the head, her eyebrow maybe kind of twitches up just in the ever slightest amount. Probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise if you didn't know that was missing and that she had asked about it.
It's the only thing missing. It's like, you think the sword, a couple of the other things are kind of interesting. Nothing the American wanted. None of those are very interesting.
Just the head is missing? Oh dear Lord, I had my eye on that. I traveled all this way almost exclusively for that item.
I'm like, I understand it's German. That's the best. But what for?
The head? Oh, it's got quite a reputation from what I'm told. It's got this mysterious origins that no one seems to be able to settle on. It keeps changing from generation to generation as it gets handed around. And I've seen pictures of it. It's exquisite craftsmanship, but also the most disturbing item. I had to have it.
I'm like, who was the last owner?
She's not sure.
Okay.
Much like
That's
the GM. Yeah. I'm not sure about the owner. Last I heard, it was actually in England, and I got word that it was going up for sale. And fortunately, Air Osberg reached out to me when he was able to get hold of it.
I think the last thing I'll mention to her is, who was the other guy that was asking for this? Whose name we cannot ever remember.
Who? So,
the other, because there's 3 people.
Yeah, there's the French guy, Michel de Bourson, and Klaus Hunterprest.
So I'm going to be like, I'm going to mention that Hunterprest, and I'll just literally say it this way. It's like, I heard that Hunterprest tried to buy this before the auction started. And just see what she says.
Oh. How low class. Who would ever do that? It goes against every etiquette rule in auctions. I didn't trust him anyway. He made my skin crawl. Did you see his skin and his eyes? Ugh. Anyway.
Cool. And I guess I'll need to roll probably for this. Is she being authentic, or is this a performance? Because I'm sure I've seen both versions of her at some point.
Yeah, I mean, she's certainly a little dramatic. I mean, if you want to give me a psychology roll, we'll see if you come up with anything specific.
Talk about this class I skipped in college with my character.
You can't have it all.
That's true. Ooh, that's a big fail. Luck's not gonna. We'll push it to piss her off, maybe. Like, I don't know. Whatever you want to be the consequence of this, I'm gonna try to push it.
Yeah. You're asking questions that are hitting a little close to home.
Second roll though.
The risk could be that she may make a scene if you keep pushing.
Okay. I got that second roll, the psychology part though.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I love
I mean,
teaching.
yeah, she's got a flair for the dramatic, but she seems to be
Classic Margaret.
straightforward with you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm so glad you're here, Klaus. Ah, this is just crazy.
Exciting. Yeah, I'm just like,
I guess so. Yeah, in a way.
I'm just like, a little too much red for my preferences, but what can you do? And then, like, I was like, I don't get to drink water. If they let you go, maybe retire for the night. Have a glass of wine someday.
Yes, they said I could go in a moment after I regained my composure. I'll be taking a taxi back to the hotel.
And I'll like find the crew and report my experience that they've just seen me play.
Okay.
So when the crew's back together, William sort of says, "Does anybody else feel like Herr Augsburg is just not telling us everything? I feel like he knows where that tunnel goes. I feel like he knows things about these objects, who they're coming from, and I get that." I get that anonymity is important and protecting your client's, identity, but I also feel like he's not appreciating what's happened here tonight, and just reacting strangely, like prioritizing things that seem odd, given a human being almost exploded in the foyer. But maybe I'm the only one who feels that way.
Something seems odd. You're right.
Maybe just drop a little America.
Carpet bomb.
Maybe something to shoot.
Yeah. So then William was like, look, based on what I've been hearing, it sounds like there's a couple places that might be of interest. One is Herr Augsburg's home, where we got the address. 2 was Das Tor. Is there anything anyone else has heard of that might be an interesting place worthy of checking out? Is there somewhere like Doctor you might need for research, or is there somewhere we might gather some information, or should we follow Lady Margaret? No reason whatsoever, just throwing it out there. See where she goes, since she was interested in the head.
Should we go get? The doctor mentioned sewer plans and things. Should we go try and get the cops to give us a copy of them? Or I'm probably not the person to go talk to the 5-0, but
talk about bacon.
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, and also above the table, did he mention them as like old sewer tunnels, like from like old Austria, old?
I think he was just sort of mentioning them as in like, I'm sure there is something like.
Oh, okay.
Like, it didn't seem like he was really like, oh yes,
I mean, I guess I suppose the sewers are underground.
Yeah.
At this level.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know if I got like such a good feeling off of him like trying to hide something, or if it was just like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
It might just kind of be like a
Yeah, and I probably perhaps I underplayed how shaken he is by what's going on, and this could ruin our reputation, and will anyone ever do business with us again, and this is not the right time for such a tragedy.
If not the sewer plans, then Caleb had mentioned that he overheard that there were other grave robberies and robberies similar to this. Should we try and get information out of them on those items, just to see if we can find a common thread going between all of these things?
Full records for that, though, right?
I didn't hear the first part of that.
You have to pull records for that kind of intel, though. And that the cops are just going to be like, yeah, here you go, you artist.
Here you go. Here's
Alpiner.
Here's the briefcase.
Yeah, American and museum curator.
Well,
occultist.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if this is as true in Austria as in Germany, but in the 20s in Germany, there was like runaway inflation. People were starving.
You
Post
could bribe
World
the
War
shit out
One.
of somebody, probably.
Right.
I was about to say, we've got the rich American guy.
Right. And the one thing I'm good for, literally, is my
Mhm.
dad's money. I think
There we go.
proven that I've got nothing else going on.
I was legit listening to a podcast about this stuff today, and it was like $1 was 100 marks in or 1,000 marks in German
1,000.
currency.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane. Just like
Eureka! I believe we've stumbled onto something.
dollar bills, y'all.
So maybe I find the police and I'm just like, what would it take to get more information on the grave robberies that we may have overheard somebody talking about? And if you want me to roll a fast talk, a charm, a credit rating, because that's where this is all going.
Yeah, give me the talk or fast talk or the charm first. Let's see
Okay.
if you get through the first barrier of.
Yeah. I mean, they're all the same. They're all 65, 65, 65.
Okay.
So I'll just do a charm first. I rolled an 18,
Okay.
which is
Nice.
below the 32.
Whoa.
I might actually spend 5 luck to get that to a 13 for the 5th.
Mhm.
Oh, it's on my computer. So I spent 18 5 luck. All right.
Mhm.
Let me spend that. So I get the 5th as a success level.
Okay.
And basically I'm saying, like, I'd like to take care of you if you could take care of me and get us figure out how we could get this information.
He says, "Come with me, sir. We'll talk over here."
And of course, as I shake his hand, there's like, 2,000 whatever marks, but it's all worthless anyway. So because of runaway inflation, but
Right.
But yeah, there's a little money in there, and I palm it and shake his hand and thank him profusely.
Thank you for contributing to the
Fraternal
police
order.
officers. Yeah, fraternal order police. What can I tell you, sir? I'd be glad to help a visitor to our fine city.
Well, not to tip our hand, but some people in our party did overhear a mention of grave robberies occurring around the city. And I was hoping to get whatever information we could about that, or who we might talk to get that information. Just tell me where to back the dump truck of money up.
Yeah. He says, you need to talk to Johann down at the the Vienna Times. Talk to my buddy Johann. He works in the morgue and keeps the archive files. Tell him that I don't know any Austrian names. Tell him that
Johann.
that's the one I came up with.
Tell Johann that
Johann sent him.
You guys ever the NS23K bit where it's just like Steve?
Yeah. The brother Daryl.
Yeah. You tell him Tricky Johann sent you, and he'll take care of you. He'll help you out.
All right.
Morgue opens in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know enough.
Appreciate
the
it,
morgue
thank
is
you.
like the archive, the newspaper archives.
Okay. So I thank him and slip him another bill, and
Enjoy Vienna, sir.
All right, so that, above the table. So now we've got Hunter Press House, Das Tor, and the morgue archivist.
I mosey up to our French compatriot. I'm just like, Monsieur, do you own firearms in Austria?
Oui, I do.
Those dogs' feet were very large.
We larger than any mountain goat I have seen. We in the morning we may want to procure some kind of sportsman equipment, gentleman's sportsman equipment. I hope our American friend bought a wheelbarrow of money for that.
My middle name is Wheelbarrow of Money.
Exactly.
Make it rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to turn this whole city into a goddamn strip club. Yeah, so what do you guys think should we go arm ourselves? Do we want to start investigating stuff at night? That seems foolhardy, but very William Gast. Or do we want to, is there anywhere you guys want to go? Do we just hole up for the night?
I mean, I think Underbreast, which that's what I'm going to call him from now on,
Absolutely.
the middle of the night seems to be the perfect time to go visit an old man's house on the wrong side of the tracks. So.
Is it the middle of the night, or is it? Oh no, it is, because we started at like midnight, didn't we?
Yeah, the auction started at 11ish.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, let's say it's a little bit after, or a fair amount after midnight, 12:30. Most of the other patrons have since departed after being interviewed. So yeah, it's the middle of the night.
I'm here for it. The only thing I would tell the police officers before we leave, or I just want to see, are they going to dig at the collapse? Is there going to be any excavation of that?
Send in the German dwarves.
Are you
Like, as
just
part of the
wondering out
crime scene
loud, or
kind
are
of thing?
you talking to somebody?
I'll talk to the police to see if they're going to investigate the collapse. I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of a brush off, sir. We've got this under control. Thank you. Enjoy your stay in Vienna. Don't leave the country.
Yeah, well, okay.
So have we then? Do we think that there's an occult connection at this point, you guys? I mean, what does the group think? Does the group think it's just like some random robbery kind of thing, or an occult connection, or?
I think above the table, I think we have evidence that would suggest supernatural at minimum. There were like animal paws. This is just my gut.
Right.
To me, that would indicate that this is not just a run of the mill whatever. Also, obviously the grievous state of the body, but to me, in my head, the paws, the claw marks or whatever, are sort of at least making William think this is truly bizarre and exactly what he signed up for when he decided to become a specialist in the occult.
Right. Well, because I'm glad you said it that way, because I think Rodrego would say, as a student of the occult, I know that things only happen at night. No occult activities happens in the morning. So we should go now. And we should go now to what was the last thing that we thought was the most important? Was it the old man's house, or was it the cemetery?
Old man's house, I believe.
Old man's house.
I would rather visit the cemetery in the daylight. We know that the man is most likely, Mr. Hunter Breast, is probably still awake.
We may even catch him in the streets if we hurry.
Yeah. Indeed, we should be fleet of foot.
Then we should pursue this.
All right,
we should do it now.
I'll grab like a table leg and all right, let's go. Kidding, I'm not going to grab a table leg.
No, not that one. That's for tomorrow's auction. That's your
Not the Monet! Not the Monet!
He faints.
It's so good.
All right. So it sounds like you what? You want to hop in some cabs and go somewhere?
Yeah,
Where are you headed?
the old man's house.
The old man's house. All right.
300, 324 Volstrasse, number 1, please.
Number 1. All right. All right. So you get a taxi that miraculously is big enough to hold all 5 of you, and you make your way through the dead of night to a part of town that becomes seedier and seedier as you go along, and you end up in this part of town, maybe about a 15-minute drive away from where you were, the center of Vienna, and you're struck by the mixture of old architecture in the homes, but also side by side are some strangely located warehouses that just don't seem to kind of side by side, and the shadows are overlapping each other. And who's got the lowest luck?
I'm sitting at a 48.
45.
65.
It's a Frenchman.
Anybody lower than 45
Rodrego.
Oh,
for luck?
for luck. Oh, my luck is 68.
Okay.
No,
a Frenchman.
75.
All right.
Jesus.
All right. So
Wait,
we'll do a party luck roll. Patrick, go ahead and give me a party luck for.
That's a 76 on a 45.
That is a failure. Okay. You arrive without event, otherwise in this strange part of town, and you arrive at a dilapidated 3-story building. Your best bet is that there is, an apartment, at least one on each floor. A little bit of a walk up, and there is a front door that leads into kind of an entry area before entering any of the actual residences. And it is, let's call it, 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's pretty dark and quiet, eerily quiet. Ooh.
Okay.
And you've gotten out of the taxi. You're standing outside the building right now.
Rodrigo, I believe this was your idea, perhaps towards the door.
Onwards. So I go up.
Mm-hmm. And so you're at the front door. Do you go inside to the kind of foyer area?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go as far as until I have to knock.
Yeah. So first of all, most obvious to you is, I don't know, maybe there's an old light. Let's say there's enough light that you see a interior door that says number 2, Adolf Lieberman, manager. And to your right is a set of stairs that appears to go up. And let's see, yeah.
Can we tell if there are any lights or activity in number 1? Do we have an idea of which set of windows?
You have not located a number 1, I guess is what you found number 2 so far.
Okay, so I might hunt around the building, look for like a basement entrance, something along the side or the back that might be like some kind of basement apartment or something. I'm sorry, what were you about to say, Pete?
Well, did you say there was stairs that went up?
Yes.
Or no? Yeah.
There are stairs that go up. So you've gone through the exterior door. You're in this little lobby, not lobby, but small. And there's a label that says number 2 for the manager. Number 2. Yeah. You assume that's the apartment number, and then off to the right are a set of stairs that go up.
Yeah, I guess we'll just check those out.
Let's check the stairs first.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna head upstairs?
Yeah.
The stairs they're creaking a little bit as you head up slowly, I don't know if you're trying to be quiet or you're just trying to
Yeah, I would try and stealth it a little bit.
try to stealth a little bit. Okay. Very hard to do, but it's the dead of night. You get to the second floor, and there is a label that says number 3, R. Horst.
Son of a bitch. All right. Okay.
And if you head upstairs to the third floor, it says number 4, Dr. Wolfgang Dornheim.
Can I go back down to the manager's door?
Sure.
I'm gonna bang on it really loud. Like
Okay.
I'm hammering
Nice.
on it.
Dome.
Yeah. Any movement coming from
Dome.
what was his last name again? The manager's?
Lieberman.
Herr Lieberman, there is a water leak in number 1. There's a water leak in number 1 in a really fake German accent.
With the Frenchman.
He opens the door, and there's this middle-aged man with thinning hair, kind of crazy, and he's got a gray mustache, and he's in a robe and boxer shorts and a t-shirt. What? Who are you?
I am a guest in number 1 right now, and this is where Underbreast is, Monsieur Underbreast. There's a water leak. The furnace is out, and there's a water leak in the walls, and we need you to open the door right now.
Give me a fast talk.
Okay.
What a lie.
That's if there's such a thing as a critical fail, that's what just happened there.
Don't forget about pushing.
I think there is.
Don't forget about pushing it.
Yeah, sure. I'll push that because a 98 is not something that I want to roll. So, and he's
You are not telling the truth. You get out of here, or I call the police. So
Yeah.
he's
All right,
going
here
to
we
call the
go.
cops at 1 a.m. if you don't.
well, let's do it. Let's go. 35 on my fast talk. Where'd it go? That's a negative Ghost Rider.
He closes the door in your face.
I'll turn to the group and
you hear him walk away. Great. Nicely done.
I tried.
Yeah, you tried.
It's
I guess
what
now
role
William would
playing
start
is. You
searching
gotta try
around.
stuff.
I mean,
Because William's from New York, and so he knows some of these buildings have like doors that are not always like clearly the front door. Like again, basement apartments, side entrances.
Mhm.
Sometimes like the real rundown places have an entrance in the back. Anywhere they can jam an apartment.
Yeah, I'll do a spot hidden to help William out with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. And give me the spot hidden. Caleb.
Success. We're looking at a.
All right. So
success too.
there is a in the back. There is a door down a short set of stairs. Lukas, you observe or don't observe. What strikes you is that there are no windows on the door or around the lower level, which if there was an apartment down there, that would perhaps a little unusual.
Is there a clearly indicated like apartment 1 or anything next to the door that we found?
No,
Or is it just sort of unmarked? Okay.
It's unmarked, unlabeled. Yeah.
I'm like, well, here we go. It's like we're trying to
Okay.
open it at least.
Yeah, we checked to see if it's open, I guess, right?
Yeah. Check the hand or check the door.
Yeah.
It's locked. Not surprising given this part of town.
True. Lock picking. Ooh, good God. There is something. I don't know if there's a skill I'm worse at on my character sheet.
You said no windows, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Good for my character, morally speaking. Dumb for a Call of Cthulhu character, though. That should be an essential skill.
Is the door wood?
Yeah. Sure.
Just saw it out like a Looney Tune or something.
I was just say we could, throw our shoulders into it and try and break it if nobody can figure out how to open the door. Like gentlemen.
Well, I have a 21% chance to lock. With locksmith, right? Would that be a lockpick roll?
I would think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a big 90. So no.
Okay. All right.
No mas. No entiendo.
I'm gonna roll it and probably just burn luck for it.
Would you like to push it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Rodrigo.
Oh yeah, I can push things.
The risk is that you've not you, but the party has already upset the manager. Blatant lies. And now you're hanging around the building.
Picking locks.
Picking locks. I would say that the cops are going to be here if you don't make it. How about that? So no pressure.
If you
14.
Push, yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Just as you hear a rapidly approaching car approach. Okay. A car is approaching rapidly. You hear it, and just in time you pick the lock and the door opens. And you slip inside into darkness.
Amigos, rápido.
Ándale.
Nice. Okay. What was that skill? Locksmith.
Locksmith.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this one of those where a success gets a check mark, or is it a failure gets a check mark?
Success.
I think it's success.
Yeah. Any skill that you pass.
Pass, all right.
Skill roll. Yeah. Except for a few. If it's got a box by it, the name, then check it if you succeed. All right. So you slip into this dark room, which appears to be a small entrance hall. And it's very, very quiet. And sure, let's go ahead. You guys poke around for a couple minutes. You may pull out prop number 1.
Oh, nice.
Which should be a big hint that you're on the right track. I sent you props for just random buildings.
Whorehouse B.
Yeah. I just happen to have these. I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's a little footnote at the bottom of the page like, this is for William only.
Yeah, right. So hopefully you've got a map, which is the layout of this basement apartment. And so you guys entered from the top. So you came in from up here, right? And you picked this lock, and you're kind of in this, and I don't know, maybe you did enough to get a sense of what rooms were which rooms. Couple of things.
Does this feel like an apartment, or does this feel like something else?
Yes.
I mean, a little apartment.
In fact, it feels like a very well apportioned apartment. It's got fine wood walls, wall paneling. There's a fine rug that runs down the center of the hallway. There's I don't know, perhaps some elaborate-looking, expensive-looking mirrors on the wall, the finest quality. Perhaps some are made of silver.
And this looks a lot nicer inside than the outside of the building. And we're kind of in a bad neighborhood, right?
Yeah. A basement
So
apartment.
we didn't expect this at all.
No. This is an apartment that's from somebody who's got money and for some reason is living in the basement, but
and
likes
no
the
windows.
finer things and no windows. Yeah.
So no lights.
Gotcha. And then just real quick, sort of above the table, breaking immersion here a little bit. Who was in the lighthouse adventure with Ty? Right. So to metagame, there's a library here. I think we ought to stop in the library.
I completely forgot about that when he was telling me. Like I kind of remember it happening, but not. I guess I had a different take on it, but yeah, that's funny. That is funny.
They can probably like a flowchart. It's like, are you playing Call of Cthulhu? Is there a library? Go to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My library skill not bad, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's. Yeah. I mean, Hollywood brought up a good. I don't know where the light's coming from. Where's the light coming from? It's dark. There's a fireplace that has. It's not a fireplace. There's an oil lamp that someone seems to have left on.
You said we did it once around the apartment, Ty. Is Underbreast home? Like, or did we beat him to his own place?
I mean, he doesn't. The rooms are empty as far as you can tell.
Okay, cool. We don't have to smother him in his sleep yet.
No.
But there's no sickly smell. There's no, like that smell that was in the other place.
Well, now that you mention it, you do detect a faint hint of that sickly sweet smell that you smelled in the auction house. Certainly not as strong, but certainly present.
William throws up. Just comes right back. Oh God.
So you're basically back at the front there. There's the short corridor. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors. I count 6. But anyway, there are doors in a hallway, in rooms.
As we pass by the library, I would definitely step into it.
The library. Okay. So yeah,
I'm a historian, museum guy. My
yeah,
jam.
this is your thing. This is a library and reading room.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an idea roll, which is, I think, is that intelligence or is that EDU? Idea is intelligence.
$70. Nailed it.
Yeah. Okay.
Regular.
So yeah, in the library there are books, a number of classics, of course, an entire section of mystery novels, and an even larger section on the occult.
Good heavens.
None of the books necessarily stand out to you individually, but in aggregate, you're struck by the number of books that are about resurrection.
Are they in Austrian, German, English?
Nice. I was thinking about that one the other day. None of you guys were in my Call of Cthulhu or World War Cthulhu game, but found that book at a store
Nice.
in preparation for that. And I think Holly was going to run. Where were you going to run? You were going to run Octung, right?
Octung Cthulhu. Still gonna at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Yeah, so the occult books have a strong proportion that are about resurrection of the dead and reincarnation.
I think William Gast would make his way to the dining room, check on the single malt situation.
Yeah.
Like, does he have like a drink cart or something somewhere in the? I don't know if it'd be in the lot, but he's looking for the drink cart.
Yeah, the dining room is apparently set up for one person. There's a small table and a chair in the room, but otherwise it's pretty unremarkable. Sure, you find a drink cart. There's some brown liquid in a decanter of some sort.
Yeah. So I pour myself a drink and then I start looking around the rest of the apartment. I would actually first go to his bedroom, I think, with a drink in hand.
Okay.
And,
Seems to fit.
Make a
Let's see.
seduction roll.
Unlike the other rooms, this room is in shambles, disorganized shambles. Clothes are strewn about. Drawers are half open. There are remnants of late night snacks littering the floor. Give me a
sorry, go
spot
ahead.
hidden roll.
Yeah, I was about to. My spot hidden is 50.
82.
Rolled a 55, so I'll spend 6 luck to get that to a 49.
Okay. Yeah, anybody else who was there and passed, you find a diamond ring. A large diamond ring, looks very expensive. The most unusual feature is that the owner's rather skeletal finger is still wearing it. Give me a sanity roll,
Yes.
William.
Oh, it's so good. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
Hell yeah,
Okay.
dude.
You're like, this is weird, but you're fine.
I just sort
Gross.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You show it to the professor or the not professor.
The
Keep on thinking you're a doctor. You're not a doctor. The doctor, not doctor. Hicks, Bernard Hicks, and he praises it. Oh, this is like $500.
Is there any? I sort of, since I seem to be nonplussed about a dead finger in there.
Mhm.
Is
Usually be
there
like,
any?
Hi guys, how's it going?
Is there any inscription or anything inside the ring? Anything? Any markings? Anything like that?
No.
Okay.
The manufacturer looks a little elaborate and unusual, but nothing to read or.
Can I tell if it's a man's hand or a woman's hand?
Well, it's
Like
just
Harry
a finger.
Knuckles.
It's not.
Just a
It's not a
finger.
hole. It's just a finger.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Are the nails manicured? Is there
sure.
a hairy knuckle? Is it a thick?
Do you want it to be a man or a woman? You tell me.
I guess,
You get to
okay.
tell the story because it doesn't matter.
Let's make it a woman.
It's a woman.
It's an engagement ring.
There's a nail on. Yeah.
Well, maybe you give to your senorita Margaret.
Well done.
That's good. That's good.
Are you taking the piss? Because I feel like you're kind of taking a piss.
I would search that library to see if there's any books by Roger Bacon, famous philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't see any offhand, then I'm interested in that resurrection book. Do you want me to do a search or a spot hidden or?
Sure. Yeah. Give me a spot hidden.
And that is a 5. Wow. I fucking fifth it.
Yeah. Yes. In fact, there are some books about Roger Bacon, and yep, still an English philosopher.
Okay.
From the 13th century.
Do any of these books have that image of the head in it, or a drawing of him that looks like the head?
Well, we'll give you some time to look at that, and we'll come back and see if you find anything.
Okay.
That'll take you a little bit of time to sort through. You're going to look through the book specifically about Bacon that you found. Let's say you found maybe 3 or 4 books.
I would thumb through them looking for a picture or drawing of him, or so I'm doing that. Hey, I just bought a new book. Let's see what the pictures are.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Anybody else have something they want to do?
I'll poke my head in the living room. I don't think anybody's gone in there yet.
I'm still shadowing the Frenchman at the moment.
Okay.
Mon ami, shall we go to the living quarters?
The living room. Where? Oh, here I am. Let's see what I can tell you about the living room. I'm sure it's amazing.
Interesting.
Dining room, library, reading room.
Yes.
Yeah, the living room is quite elaborate. It's got a couch, two chairs, various side tables, and this is where you found the liquor cart. It was in here. So perhaps this is where he entertains guests. If anybody were unfortunate enough to come down here.
Interesting.
Yeah, but this furniture is top of the line.
Mon ami, do you think I am not seeing anything of particular interest here in the living room? Shall I pour you a drink, my friend? Caleb, that was directed at Caleb.
Yeah. That one.
Excellent.
That's
And
true.
we'll pour you some brown liquid.
Is it good? Is it good booze?
It's
There you go.
delicious. Some of the finest you've had in a while.
Is there anything else weird in this? Let's see here.
No paintings of him on the wall that aren't.
Yeah, so I was
aging
like, is there a
suspiciously,
painting? I need a painting. Or I'm out of my element.
Yeah, no unusual paintings that look into another world or anything. No.
No nipple lamps. No, the furniture isn't made of human skin or anything.
Oh, right. No.
That's to a reference.
Fava beans and all that.
So William comes in and lets if you guys weren't aware of, William makes that news known. And and then I mentioned like, look, and I found this diamond ring on a woman's severed finger amongst the trashed room. I go into the kitchen and I look to see if there's is there ice in the ice box? Is like someone recently living here? I don't want to assume that. Has anybody been here for a while, I guess?
Yeah, there is no ice box. The kitchen is rather modest otherwise compared to the rest of the apartment. There is a fair amount of dirty dishes in the sink. So at least it's got running water, but it's pretty modest otherwise.
Got it. And it's not like covered in so much mold that they've been sitting there for 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely
like
some longer than others, but it's
right.
It's not like ancient.
Okay, so somebody definitely is currently.
Yeah, and even the absence of any dust.
Got it.
It doesn't smell. You got this sickly sweet smell, but it's not.
And only the bedroom. I go through the other rooms, making sure only the bedroom was ransacked.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that same smell in all the rooms, or is it more prominent in one room or the other?
We'll call it more prominent, stronger in the bedroom.
Okay.
Do we see any blood in the bedroom as part of the ransack?
No.
No. Okay.
No. I don't know if I'd call it ransacked as much as I would call it a mess.
Okay.
Got it.
It hasn't been turned, like just somebody's really messy in their bedroom.
It's just a slob. Okay.
A slob, yeah. Not in the rest of the apartment, but in this, yeah. Yeah. So what did I describe? I said, clothes are strewn about, doors are half open, late night snacks, door to the closet, messy bed, diamond ring.
Okay. So somebody was here eating recently and having a snack.
Yeah.
Perhaps before the auction, somebody came by, met with Underbreast. And they had just crazy horse sex in the bedroom and made a mess of it.
Possible.
Working theory. It's not.
Yeah.
We don't have any proof.
Did you
either
look
way.
under the bed?
That's a good question. Probably not. Unless you want to count that as part of my spot hidden. I didn't specify.
Yeah. Either way, you didn't find anything under the bed.
Okay.
And we'll go back to Bernard Hicks. Bernard, you've made it through your 4 books.
I've found some very curious material here.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm wondering, do you think this? Oh, here it is. Do you think this looks like Roger Bacon?
You're the professional. You tell me.
Indeed, it does.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And this is quite frightening, actually. If I could find that page one more time. It's very, very odd. This almost sort of resembles the head.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So it's very. I find it quite puzzling, don't you?
Hollywood, I just assumed that you're going to make a head prop for us for this. Maybe next time.
Had I had another hour's warning.
Yeah. Honey, why are you riveting skulls together in the...
Don't worry about it.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I find interesting books on that guy. I think I see a picture of him. He looks a little like the head.
Yeah, it's like a stretch, but there's probably something resembling that connection. Yeah.
The original document about the head. What was the year on it?
It was assumed to be 13th century.
And he is also from the 13th century.
There you go. That is correct.
I believe the head is his actual head. I don't know if you've been following along.
Oh shit.
And there we have it. So, someone wants to use his head in some sort of should we be talking about this here?
Do we hear like sirens outside?
I guess that's a good question. Yeah. Do we feel like we've gone over the place thoroughly enough that we feel comfortable leaving and discussing our findings?
Yeah.
Is there anything anybody wanted to do in this apartment before we?
I'm good.
I mean, there's the resurrection books. I could grab a couple of them. We could bail.
Did we look in the refrigerator?
Yeah.
No icebox.
No. Okay.
Or we didn't open the water closet. I'll just open the bathroom door, which is where I'll get my face eaten off by something probably.
Yeah, the only 2 things we haven't looked at are the water closet and the closet in the bedroom.
No, hang
Yeah,
on.
I'll go to the bathroom and open it.
And I'll check the closet since I was looking in the bedroom.
It's a pretty standard water closet. First thing you notice in the closet, William, is the smell here is stronger.
Okay.
Oh no.
The smell here is stronger.
I found the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Do you think that counts for something?
Give me a spot hidden, Art.
Sure.
William.
Let's see.
Or anybody else
hidden.
who's checking out the closet.
It's a 54. I have a 50. I'm going to spend 5 luck to make that a 49.
I like it. Yeah. Under a rug in the closet is a door in the floor, and it's got a round metal ring that you would have to pop up and tug if you're interested in opening it.
whoever's not present in the room, I make sure everybody knows, hey, found. And somebody get that oil lamp, bring it over.
I grab it.
Okay. And I'm like, hey, and just hold it here. I'm gonna pull this up. You see if you can see anything, whatever is behind this. And,
So
start.
I'm sorry. Are you going to try to open the door?
Yes.
It's like
It's been a good run, boys.
Like trap.
it's like.
So you pull up on the ring, William,
Yeah.
and you expect the door to open, but it doesn't budge, and you're not
Okay.
sure if you're not working it correctly or if it's heavy, like it.
Okay. Is there any obvious markings of something that would be a lock or a key or keyhole?
Give me an intelligence roll.
Okay. Believe it or not, my character is actually smart.
None of us know this, but it's just like his performance is all a ruse. Well, he says these statistically he is when he actually applies
Statistically,
it.
yes, but when I roll a 98 against my 85.
Don't forget about pushing it though.
Oh, right. Well, like
Skills only, so not
shit.
characteristics. Yeah. Skills only.
So there you go.
Um,
I'm kind of dim about doors.
Yeah, skills only, not on combat, not on sand checks, some other things.
Can you apply your luck?
You could apply luck, or
Okay, so
someone else in the party could try.
yeah, I'll step back. Like
You get one
obviously,
shot.
I'm too stupid to go on. So
Yeah, you
I'll,
get.
You're doing intelligence?
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
intelligence.
damned if I can figure this door out.
Oh, I got a 60.
I got
I'll
a
try.
70.
Oh,
Go for
you got a 70.
No. Go for it.
No, I've already rolled. I didn't see you roll yet.
All right. I'll poke my head around the door from the water closet. That's a 39, which is just a regular old success. I'll spend the 4 points to make it a half success.
Okay. Yeah. After another 5 minutes of twisting and turning and pulling, and the heavy door opens, and you are almost thrown back on your ass with that smell, which has tripled at least in intensity. And down below, you see just the outline of the beginnings of a ladder heading down into a dark hole down below. And let's call it there, because I don't think we're going to get through this tonight, because I know we got to wrap up a little bit. But I think the next session will not be especially long, but we're going to need a little bit of time.
Okay.
But yeah,
We're
so
all gonna
just
die.
yeah, I mean, some of you are clasping over your mouth, handkerchiefs, and a dark hole in the earth with a ladder set to one side.
Nice. I appreciate you running. I love these old D100 systems. So thank you for running these.
we talked a lot about D100 the other night, didn't we, Pete?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
And how it's awesome and how Duck's wrong.
He came around. He said, "Guys,
nice.
I'm the first one to admit when I'm wrong, and I'll own up to it."
Classic Duck.
Don't quite remember it that way.
Yeah, but yeah, I do like these sort of older, slightly clunkier games. I appreciate these.
Yeah. Well, you know what you're getting into for the most part.
That I was able to make that call.
All right. We'll look for another little bit of time. It should be almost certainly our last session, one way or the other. And we'll knock it off.
Total party kill. Let's do this.
You never know. Dreams do come true in Cthulhu.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Ty.
Ty.
Good night.
Good night.
Cheers.
Okay.